then the pectoralis minor, then the pectoralis major, and even the pectoral antebrachialis. Goodbye. All right, there will be a lot of fascia down here you need to clean up first before you see any of these muscles.
Sorry.
Fine. Let me clean up a little of this fascia and I'll show everybody. All right, you know you went far enough with your pectoral muscles if you see all this. There, see that coming out of the arm? This is called your brachial plexus with your brachial artery and vein. All right, so this is where all the nerves and blood vessels are escaping going down your arm. It starts right here. So you're gonna have muscle right underneath it. Here it is right here. All right, this is called your scalene muscle. Your scalene muscle helps you with breathing. And your scalene has 3 heads. Now finding these 3 heads is gonna be tough. You wanna very gently pick the fascia without destroying the muscle itself. Just do 1 head. Here's the 2nd head. Here is the 3rd head right here. Alright, so let me show everybody on this side. You see this longer head off to the side right here. Okay? Then we have this bigger head that's much longer and bigger than all the other ones. And then we have this really tiny one right here. Okay? Alright, so we're on this side. This is your scalene right here. We have this really thin one off to the side right here. Okay? Then we have this big one in the middle. Goes all the way down here. Alright, and then we have this little one right here. You see that? Okay, so if you were naming these heads to the scalene muscle, what would you name this one and why? Yeah, that's the medial head. That is the most medial of all these 3 heads, right? If that's the medial head, what's this one way over here? The lateral head. And what about the one in between the 2? Easy, right? So those are 3 heads of the scalene muscle. Something else I want you to see too is this big flap of a muscle right here. Does everybody see that? We have already seen this muscle. We're just looking at it from a different view now. Does anybody recognize it?
Is that the bacon? No.
Very good. That's your serratus ventralis right there, your boxing muscle. All right, remember we saw it from back here in between the shoulder blade? It goes all the way through the cat to the front. Here it is again. That's why it's called the ventralis, because it goes to the ventrum, the ventral side, okay? All right, so we got the serratus ventralis, we got our 3 heads to the scalene muscle. The next muscle is gonna be right here. The medial head of the scalene will lead you to it. You don't have to get it out, but just make sure it's pretty so you can see it. This muscle gets its name because it goes straight across the ribs. Well, not straight, but it goes across the ribs. So can you find it on your list? Yep, transversus costarum. Very good. Remember, transverse means across. So transversus costarum is going across the ribs right there. Make sense? All right, so that's it for that. Then we're going to come down here. And I want you to find 2 ribs. You're just going to feel for them. Find 2 ribs right here. And you're going to cut the oblique off the ribs. This is the oblique muscle here. It does go up your thorax a little bit. We're going to come back to this when we get to the abdominal muscles. But we need to get out of the way. So I'm just going to cut a window, making sure that I have at least 2 ribs in this window. All right, I can peel that oblique off. There will be fascia and fat here. We're gonna have to clean up a little bit. But as long as you see 2 ribs, you've gone far enough. See 2 little ribs right there. Okay. Yeah, cat ribs are much smaller than ours. They're almost like little fish bones. There and there. Ever see that? All right, we have muscles that are between the ribs. Now, without even looking at your list, can you figure out what this is probably gonna be called? Intercostals, yeah. Intercostals, very good. All right, we have 2 layers of intercostals. We have this top layer, which is your external intercostals, and then we have another layer deeper that's called your internal intercostals. Now, don't look at the connective tissue because how it gets wrinkled is weird. What I want you to do is kind of fray up the muscle just a little bit so you can see the fascicles. See those fascicles there? Which way are they running? What direction? See how they're running this way?
Yeah.
Okay. So this top layer, your external intercostals, runs this way, kind of with your ribs. Okay, so if you have these muscles running with your ribs and they contract, what's going to happen to your thoracic cavity? Think about it. I have these muscles right here, they contract. What's going to happen to my thoracic? Yeah, my thoracic cavity is going to get bigger, right? So what are we using these muscles to do? Breathe in. Very good. This is how you inhale, is using these muscles. They open up your rib cage and everything comes in. Okay? So just remember the externals are for inhalation. Now to find the internals, I want you to find, or just pick a section of this external and just start picking at it very gently. And eventually you're going to get to a layer where the muscle is running a different direction. All right, there it is right there. And if you look close enough, these fascicles are kind of running this way now, against the ribs. So now I have muscles running against the ribs this way. If they contract, what's going to happen to my thoracic cavity? Yeah, it's going to collapse and I'm going to breathe out. So you use your internal intercostals for exhalation. All right, so it's kind of opposite. Externals for inhalation, internals are for exhalation. We got all that?
Makes sense.
All right, quick recap. What's this? Serratus ventralis. What is this muscle coming out underneath the armpit? Scalene, very good. What is this head of the scalene right here?
Lateral.
What is this head of the scalene right here? What's this head? Medial. What is this muscle going from the medial head of the scalene? Transversus costarum, very good. What's this muscle up here? External intercostal, and the one that's deeper going a different direction. Internal intercostal. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then we'll do the abdominals, and we'll be done for today.